Hi guys, I'm coming to you today from, well, the Sony Bloggie 3D. I got this camera for this week and I'm going to put it through its paces. I won't be using the internal software that comes with the camera that allows you to upload to YouTube or Facebook and things like that. I'll just be using the camera and taking the raw files and putting them into Sony Vegas. And we'll look at some examples and see how you like them. Let's get started. It's funny that these cameras are called Bloggies because the first thing I noticed when I put it on the tripod to start talking to you is that I could not see myself. Unlike my camcorder, the viewfinder's on the back and I can't see it. So I had to put a mirror behind it so I could see myself. You notice the name is not Vloggie with a V, but Bloggie with a B, meaning that you'll probably be taking pictures of other people and things and putting them on your website or on YouTube for people to see. And that's just what this camera does. Oh, hi. Yeah, we'll get to the demos as soon as I just put up this ball. It's funny. It's yeah, I'll get to those demos in just a moment. Oh, I guess that's the last one. The first thing I'll do is a lighting test. I've got one 60-watt light bulb up here in the ceiling, and that's all. So that's a lighting test for you. That's what I would consider pretty low light, actually. Here is the 60-watt light bulb, a fluorescent lamp over here, and behind me I have another incandescent light that is a 60-watt equivalent. I think it's 13 watts. Check that out, and you can compare it to what you just saw. And since I'm into video and I have a little bit of knowledge of photography as well, I am going to use a polarized lens on some of the things, and I'll tell you when I'm using the polarized lens. I simply hold this in front of the two lenses on the 3D Bloggie, and that does the trick. In a bright area or strong sunlight, you're going to need a shade over the LCD screen of the Bloggie because it's almost impossible to see. I've actually got a good idea on that front. Take the box that the camera came in, and you'll notice that it comes in this little felt thing. If you put the camera lenses in to this, you can cut this hole bigger so that both lenses are clear, and now you can attach a lens filter on the outside with rubber bands or whatever you'd like. And then on the back of this, you can build a little box out of plastic, light plastic pieces or cardboard, whatever you'd like. Just extend it off the box. The camera's snug in there. You can hold it like this. You would probably have to cut a little place for your fingers to touch the buttons on top so you could turn it on and off. Other than that, the controls are on the back. No problem. In this shot, my normal eyes can see depth until perhaps that house back there with the red door. That's when it starts getting a little bit flat. I can just barely see the trees have a little bit of depth behind that house. The white fence definitely looks like it's in line with that house to my eyes. Here's the same shot without that tree in the foreground. You can determine whether you can see more depth or less depth. I really like the close-up capabilities with this camera. You can judge for yourself whether you like that or not. The photos this camera takes are average, but it beats my cell phone, and my cell phone claims to be an 8 megapixel. Here are a couple of things that test how this camera deals with motion. I'll start out just by doing this. I think it dealt with that motion very well. This isn't actually a review, but I will say that the 3D images are kind of confusing on here. You find them in the DCIM folder like almost any other digital camera. You will find a JPEG, which is a single image, and you will find an MPO file that goes along with that JPEG. This is probably done because Sony wanted it to be able to plug into a 3D TV, and if your TV is not 3D, then it automatically detects this and will probably show you the JPEG instead of the MPO. Another complaint about this camera is that you can't change out the battery and there's no expansion of the memory. I haven't found this to be a problem. Personally, I think that the simplicity is actually an advantage. I can just put this thing in my pocket, pull it out whenever I want to, and take the shot. And that is exactly what I've been looking for a couple of years now. So if I didn't already have a camcorder, or a 3D rig made out of two camcorders, I'd probably buy the Sony Bloggie 3D. I'd probably pay retail for it. I'm actually impressed by the low light performance of this camera. This is a photo taken by my stereo rig with a 60-watt light bulb. As you can see, it's very grainy. Now compare that with this photo taken by the Sony Bloggie 3D. I'll leave it up to you whether you like this camera or not. I've had a lot of fun working with it, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you later in 3D. I've actually got a good idea. You just take out this little flip, and then. And yes, the viewfinder is not a Nintendo DS. And when compression is too high, or the lenses aren't. If you want pictures with more depth, then you may want to consider the Fujifilm